Taurus, welcome back. I need to share something with you today because the energy coming through in your reading is really specific and honestly quite revealing. Someone has been talking to this person about you, and what happened after that conversation is significant. This is about someone who heard things about you, processed it in their own way, and chose to hide their true reaction. But here's what the cards are showing me. Their anger, their frustration, their inability to handle your silence or your indifference toward them, it's all coming to the surface now. And there's a karmic element to this situation that we need to explore because judgment has arrived for this person. So if you've been sensing something off, if you felt like there's unfinished energy around you, this reading is going to shed light on exactly what's been happening behind the scenes and what's coming next. The first card I'm pulling for you is the Five of Wands, and this card is showing me conflict, tension, and multiple perspectives clashing together. This represents the conversation that happened about you. Someone approached this person and spoke to them about you, and it wasn't a casual mention. This was a conversation filled with different viewpoints, possibly some competitiveness or jealousy woven into it. The Five of Wands shows me that whoever spoke to them might have been trying to paint you in a certain light, maybe trying to create doubt or stir up some kind of reaction. What's interesting here is that this card often represents conflict that's more about ego than actual substance. So the person who initiated this conversation about you might have had their own agenda, their own reasons for wanting to influence how this person sees you. And when I look at the energy of the Five of Wands, I see multiple people potentially involved, or at least multiple opinions being thrown around. This wasn't just one person saying one thing and leaving it at that. This was a situation where your name came up, and suddenly there was this whole discussion, this whole debate about you, your choices, your actions, your energy. And the person we're focusing on, the one who this reading is primarily about, they listened. They took it all in. But here's where it gets interesting. The Five of Wands also represents someone who might thrive on drama or conflict. Someone who actually engages with this kind of energy. So when they heard whatever was said about you, a part of them was activated. Not necessarily in a good way, but activated nonetheless. They might have even contributed to the conversation, adding their own thoughts or experiences with you into the mix. The reason this matters so much is because this conversation planted seeds in their mind, and those seeds have been growing into something they've been trying to contain. Your reaction to them, or perhaps your lack of reaction to them, has been eating at them ever since. What makes the Five of Wands even more revealing in this situation is the chaotic nature of the energy it represents. When I look deeper into this card, I see that the conversation about you wasn't organized or calm. It was messy, probably filled with interruptions, people talking over each other, competing narratives about who you are and what you've done. And this person, the one who received all this information about you, they absorbed all of that chaos. They internalized it. The Five of Wands energy is exhausting because it requires constant defense, constant positioning, constant proving of one's point. So after this conversation, this person wasn't at peace. They couldn't just hear something about you and let it go. Instead, they felt like they needed to take a stance, make a decision about you, figure out where they stood in all of this mess. And here's what I'm seeing. The more they thought about it, the more frustrated they became because your actual behavior didn't match what they were told or what they expected. The Five of Wands also shows me competition, and I think this person might feel like they're competing with you in some way, or they feel like others are comparing them to you. That comparison, whether real or imagined, is part of what's fueling their hidden anger. They can't win a competition with someone who isn't even participating in it, and that's maddening for them. Your indifference means you're not playing their game, and when someone is ready for battle but their opponent doesn't show up, all that energy has nowhere to go except inward, creating resentment and frustration. Now I'm drawing the Sun card, and this is fascinating because the Sun represents truth, clarity, and things coming to light. But in this context, it's showing me that despite whatever was said about you in that conversation, the truth about who you are is undeniable. The Sun doesn't hide. The Sun doesn't diminish itself because of shadows or because someone tried to block its light. And that's exactly what you represent in this situation, Taurus. Whatever was said about you, whatever narrative someone tried to create, the reality of your energy, your authenticity, your genuine nature, it shines through regardless. This person who heard things about you, they're actually seeing the truth now, and it's creating cognitive dissonance for them. On one hand, they heard certain things. On the other hand, your behavior, your silence, your indifference toward their drama, it's reflecting a completely different story. The sun is also about success and vitality. So while they've been stewing in whatever was said, you've likely been moving forward, growing, succeeding in your own way. And that contrast is stark. They can see it. Everyone can see it. And this is part of what's frustrating them so deeply. The Sun card is also showing me that you haven't been hiding. You haven't been playing games. You've been authentic and visible in your truth, and that's actually more triggering to them than if you had engaged in the drama. Because your light, your progress, your peace, it's undeniable evidence that whatever was said about you either wasn't true or doesn't affect you the way they hoped it would. The sun also represents a childlike quality, an innocence or purity of intention, and I feel like this is significant. Your intentions have been pure. You haven't been trying to hurt anyone or play games. You've simply been existing in your truth and moving forward with your life, and somehow that's become their biggest source of irritation. There's another layer to the sun that I need to share with you because it's really important. The sun is the most positive card in the entire tarot deck. And its presence here is telling me that no matter what was said about you, no matter what narratives were created or what judgments were passed, you are protected by your own authenticity. The sun illuminates everything, which means lies can't survive in its presence. Any distortions or exaggerations about you that were shared in that conversation, they're going to be exposed for what they are. The truth always comes out, and the sun guarantees it. What I'm also seeing with this card is that your happiness, your contentment with your own life, is actually visible to others in a way that makes their complaints or criticisms seem petty in comparison. When someone is genuinely happy and at peace, it shows, it radiates. And that radiation of positive energy from you is probably one of the things this person finds most difficult to handle. They wanted you to be affected, diminished, hurt by whatever circulated about you. Instead, you're thriving, you're glowing, you're living your life fully. The sun also represents recognition and achievement, so I wouldn't be surprised if you've been receiving acknowledgement or success in areas of your life recently, and that success is visible, it's public, it's undeniable. And for someone who's been harboring negative feelings toward you, watching you succeed while they stew in their hidden anger is probably torture. The sun doesn't apologize for shining, and neither should you. The Chariot is coming through now, and this card is about movement, determination, and controlled willpower. This is significant because it's showing me your energy in this situation. While they've been caught up in conversations about you and hidden anger, you've been moving forward. The Chariot doesn't look back. The Chariot doesn't stop to engage with distractions. The Chariot has a destination, and nothing is going to prevent it from getting there. Your silence, your indifference that they can't stand. It's not because you're playing games or trying to punish anyone. It's because you genuinely have moved on. You have bigger things to focus on. You have goals, dreams, ambitions that don't involve this person or this drama. And the Chariot is showing me that this forward movement of yours, this refusal to be pulled into their chaos, it's actually been one of your greatest powers in this situation. They wanted a reaction. They wanted engagement. They wanted you to show that you care about what was said or what they think, but you gave them nothing. You gave them silence. You gave them indifference. And for someone who was expecting or hoping for a different response, that's been incredibly difficult to process. The Chariot also represents victory, but it's a victory that comes through discipline and focus. You're winning this situation not by fighting, but by simply continuing to move forward with your life. And that type of victory is often more powerful than any argument or confrontation could ever be. The Chariot is also showing me that you've been balancing different aspects of your life quite well. The traditional image shows someone controlling two sphinxes, two opposing forces, and you've been managing to keep your life moving in the right direction, despite any external chaos or noise. The Chariot is also revealing something deeper about your inner strength and self-control. This card requires tremendous willpower and focus, because the two sphinxes pulling the Chariot want to go in different directions. One is black, one is white, representing opposing forces, conflicting desires, or competing priorities. And yet the charioteer remains in control, moving forward with purpose. This is you, Taurus. You've had to exercise incredible self-control in this situation. There might have been moments when you wanted to respond, to defend yourself, to engage with the drama, or call out the lies. But you didn't. You chose the higher path. You chose to keep moving forward instead of getting pulled into the mud. And that choice, that discipline, it's actually what's driving this person crazy. They're used to people who react, who engage, who fight back. Your controlled response, or lack thereof, has completely thrown them off. The Chariot also represents conquest, but not through aggression. It's conquest through mastery of self. And by mastering your own reactions, by refusing to let their energy dictate your actions, you've essentially conquered this entire situation without even trying. The wheels of the Chariot keep turning, and nothing they say or do can stop that momentum. You're on a path, and that path doesn't include them or their drama. The Chariot is also connected to the astrological sign Cancer, which is about emotional intelligence and protection. So even though you've been moving forward, you've also been protecting your emotional energy, not letting their toxicity seep into your space. That's wisdom, Taurus. That's true strength. Justice is the next card, and this is where the reading takes a significant turn because justice represents karma, truth, and the inevitable balancing of scales. This person who hid their anger after hearing about you, who has been struggling with your silence and indifference, they're about to face their own judgment. Justice doesn't arrive early, and it doesn't arrive late. It arrives exactly when it's meant to. And the timing is now. Whatever they've been putting out into the universe, whatever energy they've been holding, whatever actions they've taken or words they've spoken, it's all coming back to them. And here's what's important about the Justice card. It's not about revenge. It's not about punishment for the sake of punishment. It's about truth and natural consequences. This person is going to have to face the reality of their own choices, their own energy, their own behavior. And from what the cards are showing me, they're not going to like what that mirror reflects back to them. The Justice card also represents legal matters or official decisions in some cases, so this could manifest in very concrete ways. Maybe there are actual consequences coming their way professionally or personally. Maybe the truth about something they've done or said is going to come to light in a way that can't be ignored or hidden. The scales in the Justice card are perfectly balanced, meaning this isn't about anything unfair happening to them. This is about them receiving exactly what they've earned through their own actions and energy. And if they've been operating from a place of hidden anger, jealousy, or manipulation, those scales are going to tip in a way that reveals all of that. Your silence, the indifference they can't stand, it's actually been giving them enough space to dig their own hole deeper. Because when someone isn't getting the reaction they want, they often escalate. They often reveal more of their true nature. And Justice sees all of that. What's particularly powerful about Justice appearing in this reading is that this card represents divine timing and cosmic law. Human beings can hide things, manipulate situations, present false versions of themselves. But Justice, capital J Justice, as a universal force, sees through all of it. This person hid their anger after that conversation about you. They put on a mask, pretended to be fine, maybe even pretended to be neutral or fair-minded. But the Justice card is telling me that hidden anger doesn't stay hidden forever. It seeps out in actions, in choices, in the energy someone puts into the world. And all of that is being recorded, measured, weighed on those cosmic scales. The sword that Justice holds is double-edged, representing that the truth cuts both ways. Whatever lies or distortions were shared about you in that conversation, the truth will cut through them. Whatever false persona this person has been presenting to the world, the truth will cut through that too. Justice is also about accountability, and I'm seeing that this person is about to be held accountable in ways they didn't anticipate. They thought they could harbor their resentment privately, that their hidden anger wouldn't have consequences as long as they didn't act on it overtly. But energy is energy, and negative energy always finds a way to manifest consequences. The Justice card is also showing me that you don't need to do anything to make this happen. You don't need to expose them or confront them or seek revenge. The universe handles its own balancing. Your job is simply to stay in your truth, maintain your integrity, and trust that what needs to unfold will unfold in perfect timing. I'm pulling the Six of Pentacles next, and this card is really interesting in this context because it represents generosity, charity, and the giving and receiving of resources. But more than that, it represents power dynamics and who holds the power in a situation. In the traditional image, there's someone giving coins to people who are in a lower position, and this is showing me something crucial about your dynamic with this person. You've actually been in a position of power this entire time, whether you realized it or not. Your silence, your indifference, your ability to move forward without needing anything from them, it's put you in the position of the one holding the coins. They're the ones looking up, wanting something from you, whether that's your attention, your reaction, your energy, or your validation. And they hate that. They hate that you don't need them. They hate that you're not affected by whatever was said about you. They hate that you're thriving while they're stuck in their anger and frustration. The Six of Pentacles is also about karma in a very practical sense. What goes around comes around. If someone has been generous with negativity, gossip, or hidden anger, that's what they'll receive back. If someone has been withholding, manipulative, or unbalanced in their dealings, the universe will balance that out. And I feel like this person is about to experience the receiving end of their own energy in a very tangible way. This card is also showing me that you might actually be in a position to help or harm this person in some way, but you're choosing neither. You're choosing to simply not engage, to not use whatever advantage or power you have. And that neutrality, that refusal to play the game at all, it's perhaps the most powerful position you could take. The Six of Pentacles is also revealing something about resources and energy exchange that's really relevant here. This card asks the question, who is giving and who is receiving? Who has abundance and who is in need? And in your situation, it's clear that you have what they want. Maybe it's peace of mind, maybe it's success, maybe it's happiness or emotional stability. Whatever it is, they're in a position of lack regarding it, and you're in a position of having it. The Six of Pentacles shows a merchant or wealthy person distributing coins, and there's a scale in their other hand, measuring out exactly how much to give. This represents fairness, but it also represents discernment. You get to decide who receives your energy, your time, your attention, and you've decided, consciously or unconsciously, that this person doesn't deserve those things from you. That's not cruelty, that's boundary setting, that's self-preservation. The beggars in the card are receiving charity, which means they're dependent on the generosity of the giver. This person has somehow become dependent on your reactions or your engagement for their own emotional regulation. And now that you're withholding that, they're struggling. The Six of Pentacles is also a reminder that generosity should flow where it's appreciated and reciprocated. If someone has been ungenerous with you, speaking about you behind your back, harboring hidden resentment, then your energy is better spent elsewhere. This card is validating your choice to redirect your resources, your emotional investment, toward people and situations that actually deserve it. The final card is the King of Pentacles, and this is showing me the ultimate outcome and the energy you're embodying moving forward. The King of Pentacles represents mastery, abundance, stability, and someone who has built something real and lasting. While this person has been caught up in drama, conversations about you, and hidden anger, you've been building. You've been creating stability in your life. You've been focused on tangible results and real success. The King of Pentacles doesn't have time for petty conflicts or emotional drama because he's too busy building an empire. And that's exactly the energy you're stepping into more fully. This card is also showing me that whatever judgment this person faces, whatever karma comes their way, you're going to be completely insulated from it. You're going to be in such a stable, abundant place in your own life that their situation won't even register as important to you. The King of Pentacles is also about generosity from a place of abundance. So you might find that as you continue to thrive and build, you naturally attract better people and situations into your life. People who operate at a higher level, who don't engage in gossip or hidden anger, who respect your boundaries and your energy. This card is showing me that the best revenge, the best response to everything that's happened is simply your continued success and stability. And here's something beautiful about the King of Pentacles. This is someone who has been tested, who has faced challenges and conflicts, but who emerged wiser and more grounded. Your experience with this situation is actually making you stronger, more discerning about who you allow into your life, and more focused on what truly matters. The King of Pentacles is also the card of ultimate manifestation in the material world. This isn't just about having money or resources, though those are part of it. This is about having built something sustainable, something that reflects your values and your hard work. This king sits on a throne decorated with bulls, which is particularly significant for you as a Taurus. This is your energy, your natural domain. You're stepping into your full power as someone who knows their worth, who has created security and abundance through their own efforts, and who doesn't need validation from anyone else. The King of Pentacles is also incredibly grounded and practical. While others are caught up in emotional drama and petty conflicts, this king is focused on what actually matters, building wealth, creating stability, nurturing growth. And that's where you are, Taurus. You've transcended the drama. You're operating on a completely different level now. The king holds a golden coin in one hand, representing his wealth and the fruits of his labor. Your success, your peace, your happiness, these are the coins you're holding. And no amount of gossip or hidden anger from others can take those away from you. The King of Pentacles also represents someone who is respected, someone whose authority comes from proven competence and achievement. While this person has been trying to diminish you through conversations and hidden resentment, you've been proving your worth through your actions and your results. And in the long run, results always speak louder than rumors. This card is your confirmation that you're on the right path, that your approach has been correct, and that your future is incredibly bright, regardless of what anyone else thinks or says about you. So Taurus, let me tie this all together for you because there's a clear story here. Someone spoke to this person about you, and that conversation stirred up conflict energy represented by the Five of Wands. But your truth, shown by the Sun card, couldn't be hidden or diminished, regardless of what was said. You've been moving forward with determination, as shown by the Chariot, and your silence or indifference isn't a game or a strategy. It's simply you being focused on your own path. This person hid their anger after that conversation, but they've been struggling with your lack of engagement, and now justice is arriving. Their judgment day is here. The karma they've been accumulating through their hidden resentment, their inability to handle your indifference, it's all coming due. The Six of Pentacles showed us that you've actually held the power this entire time through your ability to simply not engage, to not need anything from them. And the King of Pentacles is showing us your future, continuing to build, thrive, and exist in such a stable, abundant space that their drama becomes completely irrelevant to your life. The message here is clear. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to confront anyone or prove anything. The universe is handling the balancing of scales. Your job is to keep being the sun, keep driving your chariot forward, and keep building your kingdom like the King of Pentacles. Their judgment has arrived, and you get to watch from a distance as karma does what karma does, while you continue thriving in your own lane.